keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Good evening, it is now 19 hours 20 in Guyana, and you're listening to the Radio with a Difference, of course, that is 99.1 and 99.5 FM Kaieteur Radio. Of course, 19 hours 20, it is time, on a Friday night, it's time for the Lall show, tell it as it is. It's the first week after a very long and significant walk for the country. However, we're here tonight, we're looking good, and we're feeling good. Mr. Lall, good evening to you.
Kevin Smith.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Smith. When our leaders hold press conferences these days, I find it very difficult to understand what they are saying. But it is very clear where they stand, and it is certainly not with the Guyanese people, Kevin. Kevin? Not in a mood to say goodnight, sorry. Kevin, I told two people on the road today that they are not in danger. They are in more danger. They are in more danger. They are in the worst possible danger a citizen of this country can ever face. A queen once said, there is no royal road to success anywhere in this world, but after success, every road becomes royal. Kevin, since Guyana became independent, is there any road that anyone can say is royal? You didn't answer me, Kevin, but it's okay. And would there be any road that will ever become royal under the PPP and the PNC's leadership? That's a question I ask to all Guyana. The answer is a resounding no. Never, ever. Not with what I am witnessing firsthand and hearing on a daily basis in this country. It is clear, or I should say it is clearer than day, that both the PNC and the PPP have not only sold this country out to the foreigners for a pittance, but they don't have any intention whatsoever to protect our present and future generations. Many of them are criminals and should be charged for treason. They are allowing the foreign exploiters to take off the little clothes we have on our bodies. And the last layer, yes, we underwear, is not being protected by these leaders. Instead, they are defending and protecting at all costs the foreign exploiters. Not one of them is fighting for us or standing up protecting us. Guys, and a few people like myself, my reporters, the lawyers and the judges who are coming to our rescue, yes, are being bombarded and ridiculed on a daily basis as if we're the ones committing treason in this land. Uncle and Auntie, imagine they're taking every drop of our oil out of this country for free. And the most important thing to protect Guyana, the region and its people from an oil spill, is becoming a fight between us and the leaders of this land. Not us, the people of Guyana, fighting against Exxon, but we, the people, are forced to fight against our own leaders. Yes, for protection. How can this be? How can this ever be? Growing up in Wakanam, in the Essequibo, I never dreamt that I would have been so blessed to be a part of this struggle, to fight against the leaders of this land for a better country. I pinch myself many times just to make sure I am not dreaming, but that I am in the middle. Yes, I am in the middle, close to the front line of this battle, uncle, against this barbarism going on in this land with myself and all Guyanese. Auntie, when the Vice President can tell this nation yesterday at another party press conference that Justice Kissoon's ruling to protect Guyana will drive investors away, I had to pinch myself again to make sure that I am alive and actually hearing those words coming out from the former president's mouth and champion of the earth. Yes, I had to pinch myself. If this man head good, then something is wrong with the heads of all of us. Auntie, a man fetching out your wealth from your yard free, and if your house collapses during the process, you and your children have to go on the road to live without clothes. And when you point out this grave danger the family faces, the parents telling you you're driving away the people from your yard, the parent had good, auntie. That is what Bharat Jagdeo telling all Guyana. If Exxon has to give Guyana full protection, yes, Justice Kissoon driving away investors. That is Jagdeo's way of thinking, and that is how he running a country like a business and not like a cake shop. He looking out for the interests of these foreign enslavers. Oh, who looking out for our widows? Who looking out for me and you, auntie? Elections coming June 12th. Yes, I think so. Aubrey Norton, the opposition leader, also had a press conference yesterday. And when he was asked by my reporter what are his plans for the oil sector, he told Guyana he's waiting on the general elections to reveal his party plans for the oil sector. In Spanish they say, "Cuando mi casa se ve mi cara." Yes, meaning y'all set up the wedding date, build the tent, invite the guest, and the day before the wedding, yes, me gonna show my face, Norton gonna show your face. That is what Aubrey Norton told Guyana yesterday. After 8 years of oil discovery in this country. Aubrey Norton saying he waiting on general election for tell the nation he planned for the oil sector. And you gotta vote for him first. Yes. And you gotta vote for him first, and then he can tell you what plan he got for the oil industry. Clap on your hands and go vote for them. And while President Ali running and ducking from the press on this US $1 trillion oil sector, Vice President Jagdeo telling us if Exxon have to protect Guyana and the region from an oil spill, Guyana chasing away people. Oh. Oh. Tonight, I have no joy, no peace, no love. Only the divinity I am feeling in me. Yes, and I want to extend that to all of you tonight. Yes, that's all I have to give tonight. I cannot say namaste. Just the divinity, which is part of namaste, I extend to all of you. Yes, God is in me, and I share God with all of you tonight. June 12 is election. I want every Guyanese go out and vote for these brothers and sisters. Go and stand at your feet for them. They will make a royal road for you and your children to walk on in the near future with this oil sector. Uncle and Auntie, we are in danger. Not ordinary danger, but extraordinary danger. We are witnessing danger beyond one's imagination in this country called Guyana today. Lall doesn't have the whole solution, and I don't have all the answers to what we are faced with. Only your votes, I believe, can change this dilemma we find ourselves in. So please go out June 12th and do your duty. Vote for them. Uncle, I would have loved to play both Aubrey Norton and Barra Jagdeo press conference tonight for you guys to hear them in their own voices. But I have better, clearer, and stronger leader for you to listen to. A leader of power and vision who puts his country and people first rather than foreign exploiters, thieves and hooligans. A leader who is not afraid to seek renegotiation to make his people benefit from their patrimony. Yes, their wealth, uncle. Both the PNC and the PPP, when they hear that word renegotiation, they behave as if you have squeezed the most personal jewels on their body, or you have interfered with their family assets. I remember Aubrey Norton sent out a letter at 5 o'clock in the morning to my editor after the Kaieteur News came out with a story from him. He said in the letter that everything was correct in the article, except he never used the word renegotiation. Why does that one word mean so much? One word, uncle. Why does that one word that means so much for Guyana drive so much fear in him that he had to wake up in the wee hours of the morning after the newspapers came out to pen such a letter demanding that the newspaper correct the word renegotiation? I believe ExxonMobil would have wake him up from his bed. Yes. Clap your hands and think about that. And with that, I'm not going to say anymore. Just think about that. That had him pen a letter to send to the Kaieteur News editor. Barra Jagdeo and President Ali, on the other hand, is switching their mouths from review and renegotiation of the contracts when they were in opposition to now sanctity of contract, an investor priority in this country. The word renegotiation should be the most meaningful, the most joyful word in this country, with that vile Exxon contract that only benefits one side of this partnership. But when that word is raised around these loving leaders y'all have, it becomes the worst of curses and a dreadful disease. Yes, uncle. A terrible evil when they hear the word renegotiation. I wonder why, uncle. I wonder why, auntie. I need some help here. Oh, they're looking out for your interests. What you say there, Kevin? Yes, they're looking out for your interests. They have Guyana at heart. Don't you think so? Man, we should give them a round of applause. I think they deserve it. Throughout those 12 days, walking with 65-year-old Redaggers from Molson Creek in Berbice to Charity on the Essequibo coast, we played a few tapes from Prime Minister Kaieteur of Trinidad, which I want you guys to listen to carefully. So at the end of this program, you guys can compare Prime Minister Rowley's vision, stewardship, strength and determination for his people versus Bara Jagdeo, Abri Norton, Kemra Dramjatan, and President Ali's vision for Guyana and his people, or their people. Yes, so that you can decide whether this country is moving towards royalty or danger. A royal life or one of a beggar. Kaieteur of Trinidad and Tobago said to his audience at an oil conference in 2018, I was present. It will be a hell of a thing if Trinidad and Tobago have to go to borrow 200 million US and being put on a program to pay that back when Trinidad losing 1 billion through taxes a year. Yes. Yes. Listen to him, Uncle and Auntie. Please listen to him carefully.
And it would be a hell of a thing indeed if this nation of Trinidad and Tobago, 1.3 million people, total population about the size of one mid-sized American city, with resources of that nature in this business, that we end up in an IMF program for 200 million US dollars while we're leaching $1 billion out of our tax net. It would be a hell of a thing indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I have given this country the assurance that under my stewardship, Trinidad and Tobago will not go to the IMF at this time. And certainly, not for a pittance, while we are allowing our resources to go through our fingers because we were sleeping at the wheel.
While we were sleeping at the wheel, a population of 1.3 million people with resources of that nature in this business has to go for a 200 million loan while they're leaking 1 billion through their tax net. The PM said it would be a hell of a thing indeed. He said he has given the people of Trinidad and Tobago his assurance that under his leadership, Trinidad and Tobago will never run to any bank, and certainly not going to the bank for such a pittance while they're sleeping at the wheel, uncle. Yes, that's a leader. That's a boss. That's a man who speaks with authority and power. He giving his people a sound guarantee that he will look out for them. Look what is happening in Guyana. Both PNC and PPP give away and continues to give away billions of US in taxes alone on this massive wealth we have. Trinidad and Tobago doesn't have anything presently, uncle. If we are to compare what Trinidad has today with what Guyana has presently, they are not even chalk to cheese. Yes. Bharat Jagdev approving project after project and getting nothing, while Aubrey Norton and the others silent. I asked Jagdev, you keep on approving projects. Will you ring fence the expenses of these projects? Will you cap the interest rates on the investment? Will you be taking control of the hundreds of millions of US coming out each year that sits in Exxon pocket? Yes. I asked him if he will demand that with every ongoing project he approves, Guyana gets his fair share of taxes. He told me I am asking him about the feather from the foot and the feather from the tail out of a plucked chicken. Then he said to me, is the Stabroek block? The Stabroek block. Nothing will change. Aubrey Norton and the PNC, Ramjatan and his AFC are all silent when all this is happening. Every day this government running to the bank, borrowing 100 million here, 190 million there, 200 million somewhere, and hundreds more everywhere. This is what Guyana has become, with resources of that nature in this business. Keith Rowley there is just reminding Guyana what Lall and his team, yes, his Kaieteur News team, have been saying since 2015 when we discovered oil. Uncle and auntie, we could have owned the IMF, the CDB, the World Bank and IDB, and all the banks in the world today had the PNC, and now the PPP sold this massive wealth with the best of deal. The whole world told us we left at least 55 billion US under the table when Trotman renegotiated the 1999 deal in 2016 and moved royalty from 1% to 2%. No ring fencing, no capping of the interest rate, no taxes, no full protection, no nothing. And Bharat Jagdev continuing the same trend at a faster pace with the same nothing coming our way. Yes, he is in a hurry to empty Guyana's wealth like a thief in the night and then turn back talking about investors' confidence. Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad giving his people guarantee. How come we leaders don't talk? Yes, talk that kind of a language, Uncle? How come they don't talk with that kind of strength, Auntie? Keith Rowley went on to say, over the years as opposition leader, and now the Prime Minister, he had the opportunity to interact with all the movers and shakers in the oil and gas sector in Trinidad and Tobago. He said he tried his best not to fight with the movers and shakers, but to let them know we are in this thing together. We are partners together. Hear how beautiful he puts it. Let's play another tape. Play on, bro.
In recent years, as leader of the opposition, and more so as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I have had the opportunity to interact very directly with the people who are, to put it simply, the movers and shakers in this hydrocarbon industry, an industry which we depend on for our livelihood in Trinidad and Tobago. And in these interactions, these conversations, I try to impress upon the investor class, the investor grouping, or corporate partners, that we are not fighting each other. We're in this together. The only difference is that the investor group has no difficulty in identifying its shareholders. And I, representing the people of Trinidad and Tobago, must also identify and work for my shareholders, who are the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And to do so, there are times when we'll disagree. There are times when we'll be excited about prospects. And there are times when we may have to be disagreeable, hopefully not too frequently. The hydrocarbon industry in Trinidad and Tobago is an industry of which this country can and must always be proud, because we have been pioneers in this industry. But over time, someone like me, having just been described as being in Parliament for over 30 years, would have had a perspective which might not be shared by many of the young people. But it's valuable. Because if you've been around as long as I've been, that perspective could take you from birth to the grave. In other words, you might have seen it all. And it's against that background that as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I had this sense of urgency that we need to do something about this thing.
Sense of urgency that we need to do something about this thing. Uncle, he said the investor group. Yes, the investors, the same people what Jagdev talking about. Prime Minister Rowley said they don't have a problem shouting on top of their voices when they're making money for their shareholders. And we, yes, we must be able to speak at the top of our voices and work for our shareholders. That is what Keith Rowley said there just now. Yes. His shareholders, who are the Trinidadians. Yes. He has to tell them what is there for them. Uncle, have you ever heard Vice President or Norton voices at any volume saying what they plan to do for any one of us in this oil sector? Or how hard they will fight to get a better deal for the Guyanese shareholders in our oil business? No. For them, it is always and only for the investors. Investors, meaning Exxon. Guyana Partnership for them only got one side, the investor side. Yes. The Prime Minister went on to say, Uncle, to get the best for Trinidad and Tobago, there will be disagreements and there will be time for excitement. Uncle, you know, in any relationship, there will always be disagreements and excitement. But the man is saying, we have to work through them and overcome them so that both parties can walk away smiling. At present in Guyana, look who are smiling. Look who are enjoying. Look who are living the life with our resources. Do I have to identify the people who are enjoying we wealth in this country? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just look at the crime rate going on in this country and look at the faces of our brothers and sisters in the streets and you will know who is enjoying the wealth. Who is on top of the world and who is at the bottom of the pit. Y'all come out and go in the highfalutin bars, restaurants, and see who enjoying the life. See who's spending your money, having a good time. That is what the PNC and the PPP has done to this country and continuing to do. Yes, continue to do on a broader and wider scale each passing year. Y'all go out and vote for them June 12th. You guys hear how that tape ended? He said he has a sense of urgency and he has to do something and do something quickly for his people of Trinidad and Tobago. In Guyana, uncle, we don't have a sense of urgency. We have a sense beyond urgency to get what is rightfully ours. Because, like I always said, before you go to bed to sleep, it is all going to disappear with today's technology. Jagdeo and the silence of Aubrey Norton. Them have a sense of urgency, approving project after project, so that the investor confidence can be satisfied with the billions of US dollars in more profits, while our brothers and sisters have to snatch black plastic bags with tennis rolls for their family. Shoplifting milk, soap and Colgate 2 days ago. Yesterday, I saw a horror picture on the Kaieteur News front page where one of we brother ripped down the pants of a school child to get the boy's cell phone out of his pocket. Before I play another tape of Kaieteur, let me warn all of you right across this country who are listening to me and overseas. Georgetown has become a den of thieves. Be extra careful if you're coming or passing through it. Thousands of crimes happening on a daily basis and they are not being reported. Waiters, waitresses, ordinary workers, security guards, domestic workers, public servants are all robbed left, right and center all over this place. While we are being robbed, yes, robbed of billions of US dollars by the foreigners, our own brothers and sisters are getting robbed by known local people, yes, of cell phones and anything you have in your pocket or in your hand. Cheers, Norton. Cheers, Jagdev Ramjatan and President Ali, plus ExxonMobil. You all doing this country a beautiful service. Let's go back to Keith Rowley for more wisdom. You would hear Uncle Dr. Rowley saying, while contracts bind us by terms and conditions, not one of them is cast in stone. Let me repeat that one, man. Mr. Rowley said, although terms and conditions bind us in contract, not one of them is cast in stone. You would hear him say, when circumstances change, contracts must be changed. Play that next tape for me, please.
But there's a willingness not to treat contracts as cast in stone. That while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, if the conditions have changed so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we anticipate that our partners in this business will see our claim as a fair and just one. And we anticipate that there will be some reopening of contracts so that at the end of the day, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago.
I gotta clap my hands for those words of strength and power. When circumstances change so drastic and detrimental to the well-being of the people who own the wealth, no one should talk about sanctity of contract. That should be buried the same place they sign it. Play it back, please.
But there's a willingness not to treat contracts as cast in stone. That while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, if the conditions have changed so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we anticipate that our partners in this business will see our claim as a fair and just one. And we anticipate that there will be some reopening of contracts so that at the end of the day, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago.
I wanted you to play back the same tape that you played just now.
Yeah, the same.
All right. Uncle, you telling this nation what Jagdev and Norton. Wow. When you hear Jagdev and Norton talk about sanctity of contract, you hear what a gentleman said just now? No terms and conditions, none whatsoever. He said, although we have to abide by them, it shouldn't bind us. It shouldn't bind us when circumstances change. What is happening in this country, what is going on in this land is insanity. From 3 billion barrels in 2016 to 11 billion barrels today. 4 times more. And we still talking about pennies. Yes, we still talking about pennies. This is not sellout, people. You guys need to get in the streets with your feet and mouths if you want to live a royal life. You heard what Kaieteur said. Once life has taken such a bad turn where we can't feed ourselves from our own God-given riches, then no contract on earth can talk about sanctity. It must be renegotiated. It must be changed so that we can eat, so that we can live, so that we can smile. Our children can laugh. As it stands today, Uncle, our children and grandchildren will never be able to smile or put a smile on their children's face with this contract that is slowly killing all of us. No, man. This thing gotta change. And the PPP and the PNC have to change it. And if they don't, we have to do it with our feet in the streets and our fingers at the ballot box. Could you play back that tape?
But there's a willingness not to treat contracts as cast in stone. That while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, if the conditions have changed so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we anticipate that our partners in this business will see our claim as a fair and just one. And we anticipate that there will be some reopening of contracts so that at the end of the day, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago.
You heard him, Uncle. The Prime Minister of Trinidad. If the conditions change so dramatically and so detrimental to their people, then the reopening of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Dramatically and so detrimentally, Uncle, it means that things have changed so much so that if we don't get the contract changed, the graveyard staring us with starvation. And this Exxon contract with Guyana is the worst in the world. Uncle, man, you got to wake up. You have to wake up. Trinidad and Tobago is getting 12.5% royalty and 55% taxes and still demanding reopening of their contracts so that their people can get something more because of how life has changed in the world today. Guyana, with this amount, this massive amount of the best crude oil on earth today, man, is getting 2% royalty. No taxes, no capping of interest rate, no ring fencing. We can't see the expenses in a half and half business. Can you guys believe this? No full protection of an oil spill. This whole nation starving. And we must be happy with that. Trinidad and Tobago getting 67.5% total take. And investors don't run away. The best crude, like I said, in the world today sits right here in Guyana. And investors gonna run away if we ask for renegotiation of the contract and full protection. This is according to President Ali and Barra Jagdeo. Oh my God. All the oil producing countries demanded and received more royalties, more profit share, but not Guyana. Last year when the price for crude went up to about $100, several rich countries across this world, including the US, England, Canada, France, Norway, demanded a windfall tax of no less than 25%, and all of them get it. Yes. But not Barra Jagdeo and Irfan Ali. Not Aubrey Norton or Ramjatan. These loving, caring leaders. These compassionate leaders. Yes. They are not even asking for anything from ExxonMobil. Instead, they are cussing down Lall, the Kaieteur News, and now cussing down Justice Kissoon. Just now, they're going to cuss down the rest of the judges when their decision comes out to protect Guyana. They cuss down Melinda Janke, the other lawyers, the environmentalists, Vincent Adams, any and everybody who talk about the wrongs they're doing in this country. They're cussing them down and abusing them out. Look what this country has become. I sometimes ask myself, when someone will rise up and turn this madness upside down and start putting some of these people in jail for the rest of their lives. That's the right place for them to talk about sanctity of contract. Jail, uncle. God, please come quick. You give us oil. Don't tell me you will leave us like this with these great leaders. No. No, boss man, please. Don't do this to the people of this country. Don't leave us halfway. It's not fair to us. Dr. Keith Rowley ended by saying there, we will be reopening. There will be the reopening of some contracts. And he hopes that his partners will see this as a fair and just one for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So that at the end of the day, yes, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago. Those were his words. Uncle and auntie, weeks later, he made that announcement. He put together his team and called the head office of BP in England and told them he wanted them to meet with him. They asked him, sir, anything wrong? He said, no. Sir, did we do anything wrong in Trinidad? He said no. He told them nicely, yes. Any contract that benefits one party only is not a contract. And as such, they must put together a team to sit with his team to make the contract better for both parties. You know what happened after that, Uncle? After a couple of weeks, Kaieteur and the Trinidadians were walking around Trinidad and Tobago with big, big smiles on their faces. Yes, he changed things. Uncle, at another press conference, he told Trinidad and Tobago how he asked a former permanent secretary, not in his government, to work in his government for free, to go out there and find the best of their own people in the oil and gas business and beg them to come back home to help reconstruct the Ministry of Energy. I want you people to listen to him carefully. Play him.
That I've engaged the assistance pro bono of former Permanent Secretary Jackie Wilson to go out there and find our national scholars in certain particular fields, because we are reconstructing the Ministry of Energy and other areas where their skills are required, to give us a chance to be the best that we can be. So that when we sit down across the table from those who look after their shareholders, those who speak for Trinidad and Tobago, will have the wherewithal to be respected across the table and to come away with a fair deal for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
So that when we sit down across the table, watching people who looking out for their shareholders, his people will be well equipped with the knowledge to negotiate and renegotiate to get the best deal for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You heard him there. In Guyana, Jagdeo got some nincompoops, yes, around him, paying them fat salaries to write letters every day in the press, misleading this nation on anything and everything in the oil sector. Them even saying every day how Guyana get the best deal and Guyana don't need full protection. That's the kind of people Bharat Jagdeo has around him and wants around him. He doesn't want people with technical skills and bright people. Anybody who wants to get anything good for Guyana out of this oil sector cannot be around them at all. No. At another Kaieteur press conference, he asked a former minister from the other government to see what is happening and to look at where they are and how they should respond to give Trinidad and Tobago the best chance to inherit what belongs to them. Excuse me, play that other tape, let them hear.
I was saying, former Minister Wendell Motley did yeoman service in holding a team together, pulling together some of the best talents that we have in the country, to look at this issue, to see what was happening, to see where we at, and to see how we should respond so as to give the people of Trinidad and Tobago the best chance to have these resources, this business, these endeavors contribute to us. And today, I'm confident that all our partners in the corporate sector, be it BP, Shell, EOG, BHP, locals, I'm confident that as we look at this issue, we would all see room for improvement.
Wow. Wow. I feel like bawl for Guyana, cry for Guyana with what these beautiful, loving, caring leaders doing to all of you in this land, including myself. Keith Rowley is confident that all his corporate partners in the oil and gas companies, yes, he talking about, as they look at the issues, they will all see room for improvement on both sides so that both partners can be happy. What kind of improvement we hearing from any one of our leaders in this land representing the Guyanese people? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody, any Guyanese, tell me? What are we hearing from these leaders we have representing us, who are a 50-50 partner in the oil sector today? I will leave all of you to answer that question, what you're hearing from any one of them. And I will also ask all of you, uncle and auntie, which one of your leaders have ever spoken the way the Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister has spoken in those tapes I just played for you there? Which one of them? Man, all over the world, when governments call oil companies, it's a time of fear and trembling on the part of the oil companies. In Guyana is the opposite. When the oil companies call government and opposition, they are the ones trembling and shaking in their boots. You know why, uncle and auntie? A lot of secrets the oil companies have for them that can be exposed. Yes, that can be exposed for the things they did and continuing to do to all of us. I end tonight by saying this country should not sleep without calling all these foreign gold, bauxite, timber, manganese, diamond, and all the rest of our rich minerals. Yes, all those companies in this country back to the table to renegotiate all those contracts. And certainly, we should never go to bed tonight. Yes, to ever close our eyes without getting this Exxon contract reopened and renegotiated so that the people of Guyana can benefit from their God-given riches. Or they all should be kicked out. They all should be kicked out. And with that I say again to you, may the divinity in me tonight be with all of you. Yeah, yes, uncle, have a great weekend. Tomorrow, we are carrying a story in the Kaieteur News where Bharat Jagdeo at the press conference yesterday, when asked by a Stabrook News reporter why he rushed out in front of Exxon to appeal Justice Kissoon ruling, said how international media watching and he has to protect investors in this country. Oh boy, yes. Investors can come, rape you, fetch your wealth out with no protection, and you leaders defending that. Please read the full story in the Kaieteur News tomorrow. And don't forget to read the other stories also with ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil. What they had to say at a press conference they had today. Monday, I will speak about it. Exxon really make a laugh today. Them playing dead for see what funeral they gonna get. Them tell us today at the press conference, if they don't win the appeal, them gonna have to shut down Lisa One. Well, they will have to shut down all, not only Lisa One. And in any case, that's nothing new. Justice Kissoon ruling say, if you don't hand we the full protection, shut down, take away the permit. Uncle Donald Trump told 13,573 lies during his 4 years presidency. Bharat Jagdeo talk out all the lies in himself, his family, and all the Guyanese people. Now, he's selling the lies of the foreign exploiters to us. As for President Ali, he's dodging just not to get caught up in lies and deceit, while Norton saying he waiting on the general elections to disclose his plans for the oil sector. As for Kemraj Ramjatan, he told Christopher Ram, if you all want better deal, farm political party. Oh. Last night I saw on the news criminal charges with jail time coming for Donald Trump. If some of these Guyanese leaders don't go to jail, whether I am alive or not, me don't name Glenn Lall. The Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks worth billions of dollars land in people's hands for free. Oh, brother. Oh. I'll take a few phone calls and call it an evening. Please tell Kevin to come. Kevin?
All
Kevin.
right. Yes, sir.
Please tell Miss Mortley I wanted the 2 other tapes to be played tonight.
All right.
Uncle and Auntie, I have 2 other tapes that I would like you guys to listen to as we go along taking a few telephone calls. As I was speaking, I just remember that I listened to 2 other tapes from Mr. Keith Rowley that I would like you people to listen to. So I sent to get them, and in the meantime we can have a telephone call or so in between. Oh boy, it is so sad, Uncle. It is so sad that we are living. Okay, I have one here. Let me play it here for you.
I've engaged the assistance pro bono of former Permanent Secretary Jackie.
No, that's not it. That one was played before.
That there's a willingness.
The trait? No, I don't have that. All right. In the meantime, they're sending it because before you guys go to bed, I want you to listen to these 2 tapes. It's very important. I got them late in this evening, so they couldn't put it. They couldn't put it for you guys to listen to. But we are not heading in the right direction, Uncle. We are not. We are not. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, man. You know, I want to say this. The streets of Guyana is begging for you to greet your feet with your feet, wiping its feet. Then and only then, Guyanese people will be having a long, happy, peaceful, joyous life. The street is weeping.
Yes, I
I'm
know.
waiting for them to greet and wipe its feet.
I know, brother. I know. I felt it walking with Ray Daggers from Berbice to Essequibo. I felt it. I see it. I smell it, bro. This country, the entire populace,
They have to take their feet and wipe the weep on the street. The street is begging them for their benefit.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Just take your feet and wipe the street, brother and sisters. And life will be better for all of us. We have our children, we have our grandchildren. We have the poor who will be dangerously living on this land to us who are not rich.
I hear you, brother.
It's a serious situation. You know, Glenn, I live along the East Coast. It's a big talking to you. I rent house right to the East Coast. I is a mechanic and I drive a tire shop and so on. Then you just come ask you for shoe. And these youths is going cut Farker. And make string and shatter them tube bit. And them go up on the seashore. And when they coming back, they bringing strings aboard that you cannot check. The accuracy at that young age, growing in poverty, and you have a weapon in your hand and your children don't have, and father and mother don't have food in their house. Rice can empty.
Everything empty. Everything empty. Everything empty, brother. Everything empty.
What is going through that child mind? I'm going tonight for my share. It's a serious problem. Oh, we go to Mandir, we go to Masjid, wipe off the street with our feet. All my friends in Lenora Public Road, all of them go to Masjid early in the morning and wipe the whole church there for go Masjid as well.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, buddy, you take care, right?
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
God bless.
Oh. Wow, I gotta get it here. Uncle and Auntie, just a moment. I'm trying to locate these two tapes.
Given the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has been in this business for so long, and that we are engaged in very much in what you will be engaging in, whatever our experience has been, good, bad, or indifferent, it will do Guyana well to know what that experience is, even if it's not taken as advice. With respect to the first part of the question as to how we have engaged in treating the contracts, the way we have done it is as a small country participating in a big industry. We've
Turn off. Yes. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Glenn and your panel.
Yes.
Now, I must congratulate you on your work with Mr. Daggers and the good work you're doing. But I can tell you, you have been at this program for a few years now. And you know what I admire about you? You never give up. You keep going at them. You keep exposing them. And I think by now you're seeing the results. And you haven't started to see the result of it as yet. You have way more result to get than this. So you just got to keep up the good work and keep banging at them and keep exposing them for who they are, because we have a vice president. This man have the made up that no matter what we do, Guyanese will wake up tomorrow morning and forget it. And you have to keep reminding the people what he's doing. The minute you see you stop doing that, well, all will go in his favor.
Brother, it's 2.5 years I've been on this radio.
It's 2.5 years now I'm watching everyone too.
29 years I've been talking about this thing in the newspapers. Don't you think I'm getting tired?
Well, you're a strong man, don't worry.
No, but how long do I put up with this? You know, when you're knocking at people's door every day and they're hiding in behind the door.
You remember the old saying, constant bang and throw down Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, but how much more do I do this, man?
No, let me tell you something. A lot of people, if you look at your viewership now, it tells a story. If you go around the place, your name is all over now. It used to always be, you know how much time people used to tell me, oh, use a Glenn Lall. Now today, people just ask me, what you Glenn Lall say? What you got to tell me? And you know what? I get a lot of them to start to listen to your program now. As a matter of fact, I got some friends who used to trouble me and call me a Glenn Lall, and they're now sharing your stuff on their Facebook. I'm telling you, you are getting the result, and if you continue, you will get better results.
Sir, time is not on our side. Today's technology will wipe out all our aisle overnight. I was just looking at the news, the 7 o'clock news before I walk into this radio station, that scientists already came up with technology to read people's mind. You hear me? They can read your mind. I had to look at it and smile because I said, my God, I wish I can get that in Guyana, to read some of these people's minds. They will live in jail for the rest of their lives for the things they're plotting and planning with thieves against us.
Let me tell you something before I go. You got one man in this country, right, that has been doing the damages all day. You think about it, right? And then now you have the head who goes out and reach people and hug people and play domino and put on a pot of fish curry and whatever. And he does the damage control. He does the repair.
You got it.
So one man is doing the damage.
You got it wrong.
The repair, and then they have the mouthpiece in the morning.
No, you have it halfway right.
Okay, all right, well, teach
You
me
have
that.
it halfway right. One man has been doing all the damages, right? They have left office. Another set coming, and all of them do damages. You understand? Because they fill up their pockets and they left. And now the people come back and the damages continue. And everybody did the damage, everybody doing the damages. Yes, the elites doing the damages. All of them. So they can't say nothing on each other.
You see, with today's technology, you can't fool all the people all the time, believe me. It's a different world we're living in. Everything is almost available to all of us in real time. So, you know, there's the beauty about the technology, but at the same time, we got to also learn that they will also use the technology. So when you use the technology to highlight a wrong that they're doing, they might get 5 platforms to use the same technology to show that your accusation was wrong. But people will weigh it out, and people beginning to weigh it out. A lot of people seeing them for who they are, you know. Don't worry. You may think You may underestimate the work that you're doing, but I can tell you, your work is paid, and you have a long way to go with it. Anyway, you take care, and
Thank you.
and you have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Wow. Did you put your hand on the tapes? But we can still, if you get it, you can put it into the program. So when we send the program out, people can listen to the whole.
All right, 36 in Guyana. You know the drill. 226-7453, 226-7454, 622-2222. Mr. Lall is very enthusiastic this evening about taking some phone calls.
Yes, we'll take the phone calls, and we'll take a few phone calls. And in the meantime, if we find the two tapes, we play it. All right? Yeah. It's Friday afternoon. We can take 2-3 calls and go. I think I had it in my take the call. 226-7453.
Yeah. Good night, panel. Good night, Nicola. Good night, everyone.
Yes, good night.
Hello, good night. Hello?
Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Yes. Well, the way I see things, like, this is a country that is fully asleep. Sitting down and watch the foreigners eating out all we see.
Mm-hmm.
And our citizens aren't saying anything. Like, they don't deserve nothing. The politicians are very silent, close-lipped, while the populace overlook it as if they don't deserve, as if it is none of their business.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody in care. And if anyone do care, we still have fear. Now, why is everyone so silent on our welfare? I would like to know, sir. Because I don't know why isn't people coming out with nothing that is their welfare, and they aren't looking out to it. They none of their business. So they are letting Mr. Lall to fight for them.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I see it. And about Mr. Jagio now. About Jagio now. Jagio doesn't represent Guyana or Guyanese business. He represent the president welfare, what the president do, and like this he representing. You see? So Jagio is a very opportunist person, and take these opportunities to know in the country business and putting things in your own favor, right? And fulfilling your own desire in our country upon our heirs. You see? So before seeing this man is not appearing, and he ain't got no feelings about being a parenthood and what our parents feel, knowing that they turn hungry. You see what I show you? So long as Barjak do, they're about, we in pressure, we in success. So long as Barjak doing podcast, he ain't looking out for we, looking after the president welfare. With the president like, we don't like, we looking after Chinese. This is work, this the position he doing right now. Not for Guyana, for the president. And this we got to know. As that do not for Guyana, that do the president, vice president. See? So the president vice, he shouting out and mentioning, but they are in one clan together, and they are portraying their own business upon Guyanese heads. And Mr. Lall, please help us. As we ain't got nobody who got feelings and heart for we, and we seen that it's only you. So I don't know. I don't know.
Thank you.
But Mr. Lall, I beg you.
Thank you.
Help us.
Have a good one. Gunmen in speedboat help death row inmate escape from Mazaruni prison. Read that in the Kaieteur News tomorrow. One of the men who sentenced to death for the Bartica.
The Bartica massacre.
Yes, for the Bartica massacre, escaped from prison. And they're saying that a speedboat with some men inside, gunmen pick him up. Good evening.
Yeah, Jan. Good evening. You know, I want to tell you this. As ethnicity claims superiority, you must have the ability to prove so. You're doing a wonderful job, buddy.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Goodbye. I saw President Ali went to England, maybe to meet the king. I don't know if he met the king. And I saw today's newspaper that he went to Qatar, maybe to meet other kings. I can only ask if you see how those kings got their people living, Kevin, as compared to how he and Barra Jagdeo got citizens here living. I can only ask that question. And I can see, because I didn't tell the people namaste, they're upset with me, so they're not listening to me and they're not calling the phone. So with that I say good night. Have a great weekend.